Okay, well, hello. Happy Wednesday. It's midweek. From here on, it's downhill. The weekend is in sight, and you're doing a great job. So keep it up. I'm happy to be spending a little bit of time with you, and I thank you for spending some of your time with me as we get caught up on what's going on workerscompensation.com. And this update is brought to you by Simply Research, and we'll talk about that momentarily. Well, it's Wednesday, and Wednesday is a big day at workerscompensation.com because it's email newsletter day. Don't know if you've had a chance to check your email newsletter yet, but if you haven't, we'll take a quick peek at it so you can see what's in it, give you a little idea of what's on the site, what you might expect tomorrow, and let you know how Simply Research can help you. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so you can see what I'm looking at, and we can be on the same page, literally. So here we go. There's the site today. Like I said, it is Wednesday, so let's take a look at the email situation. And there it is. If I can get this to come up the right way. We don't need that. What we want to see is the whole email. All right, so let me go in there. There we go. And there it is. As always, our big time sponsor is Horizon. We're thankful to them. And of course, we're thankful to Paradigm. And we always want to shout out Kids Chance. So check them out. But here's the big stories of the week that we've put together for you. And we're always interested to know what you think of our selections from week to week. So reach out to us if you thought a story should have been included and got snubbed, or if you thought one story or the other that made it here was better than any of the others. So we were very pleased to have a return to work piece penned by none other than Natalie Torres. She knows her stuff about return to work, and this is, in my opinion, a very insightful analysis from her. We always appreciate Sean Dean keeping us up to speed on what's going on the Medicare side of things. Keeping up with CMS lately has been tough, but fortunately, Sean does it for us. When something happens, he's right on it, has the analysis, sort of pulls out what it is that we need to know in terms of workers' comp, in terms of what CMS is doing. This one is, there's some updated guides that they came out with. They've been busy, particularly since the administration changed over. Not surprising that tends to happen when one president leaves and another president comes in. And this has been a particularly busy time. So our thanks to Sean Dean from J29 for keeping us up to speed on that. And then another story that really grabbed people's attention this week, and I thought was a particularly well-written story, was Anne Llewellyn's case management focus from last week, which dealt with end-of-life issues and was inspired by the show The Pit, which is getting rave reviews. The critics love it. I have yet to watch it, but from what I hear, it's an excellent show and one worth watching. And she derived lessons out of this that are important, not just for case managers, but anyone. I know probably many of you who are watching this right now have had experience where you're dealing with someone that you care about, the end of their journey here on Earth, and what to do both for yourself and for the individual who is facing death is an important skill and something that can really help with a healthy acceptance of death, honestly. So that's what we thought were the big stories. We hope that you'll check it out. So how do you get that? Well, there's a few different ways that you can sign up for it, but from the homepage, if you just scroll all the way down to the bottom, we've got a link there. Sign up for weekly newsletter. If you don't have it already, boom, that gets you there, and then you get the updates in your email inbox every Wednesday morning. So what else do we have going on? Well, there's a few very interesting news stories that are up that are going to be featured tomorrow. But one that was featured today is another new expert analysis contributor. We welcomed Edward Stern earlier this week, and we also are now welcoming Ann Stanko, who has a background in physical therapy. And this is very interesting about how physical therapy can help sort of all stages of the workers' comp process, especially, well, I mean, all of it, but I thought especially interesting was injury prevention, of course, early intervention, things that happen before there's a problem or at the very beginning of a problem to either prevent or shorten the challenges that might emerge as the result of a workplace injury. So this is interesting material from Ann Stanko, and I encourage you to take a look at it. I also encourage you to take a look at what we'll have tomorrow. Or it's already up on the sites. If you want to go to the site, you can, or you can wait for our LinkedIn daily newsletter that goes out in the wee hours of the morning every morning, so that when you wake up, it's there in your LinkedIn feed, inbox, whatever you have it set up for. Claire Musselman checks in with some leadership advice, continuing this series directed toward women and how they can have a sort of healthier relationship with the workplace and the issues that go on in the workplace. A very interesting question that Chris Parker poses in a "What do you think?" feature. Here was an employee that was traveling for work. During his travels, he noticed that people needed help with their vehicle on the side of the road. He gets out to help them, and in the process of trying to render assistance, ends up getting killed himself by it was like a wayward tire or something that flew off another car in a wreck that happened while he was rendering aid, and he died from it. So his surviving spouse sought workers' compensation benefits as a result of his death. And so you can kind of take a look at that and see if in Arkansas he was in the course and scope of his employment at the time of his injury. We also, sorry about that. We also have a story about mining safety. Chris Swaney, she lives in the heart of mining country. She's in Pittsburgh and is no stranger to these issues, both in terms of her work experience and just by virtue of geography, honestly, as taking a look at the issue of how the current administration is faring in terms of safety concerns among those in mining. And so there's an interesting thing. It always seems like there's a lot of news surrounding what the administration is doing right now. So she keeps you informed on what the issues are. So there you go. Those are going to be the big stories for tomorrow. We hope that you will gain some knowledge from that and that you find them useful. And we also hope that you find our Simply Research database useful. As I've mentioned to you before, we have a hardworking staff of compliance folks, people that are tasked with keeping this up to date, so that no matter what state you're in, no matter what U.S. jurisdiction you practice workers' comp in, that you have access to timely, relevant, useful information that makes your job easier. And so what's the latest? Well, today we've got a bevy of forms out of Arizona, some court cases, Massachusetts, Minnesota, a compliance update from Tennessee. We'll take a look at that, and another one from another case, and this one's out of West Virginia. So what's the deal with these compliance summaries? Well, like I said, we do have this team of compliance experts who sits down and updates things that you can use. And so one of them is our compliance summary. So this is a brief one. This just tells you what the annual, in this case, annual report from BWC in Tennessee. And you can see that was just changed. They updated the link basically. So not a heck of a lot going on there, but there are compliance summaries for all U.S. jurisdictions. And so while we're in Tennessee, you go there, you can see what the topics are. And let's say you're interested in form filing. That's something that folks in the industry have to deal with a lot. And let's see, numbers. So here we go. And that tells you what the kind of state of the law is. And then if you need the full thing, you want to go to the horse's mouth, boom, there it is. And that takes you to the appropriate rule or statute. So if you're interested in that, you can go to workerscompensation.com and you can sign up for a free trial by going to Solutions, Simply Research, coming up to the page there, and then boom, sign up for a free trial. All right. Well, we appreciate stopping by to spend a little bit of your time with us. We hope that it's been worth your while, and we thank you. Have a wonderful day.